If you do not understand the total market cap, you're going to lose at this game. You might get lucky, but you're not going to get great. And understanding the money flow is so important if you're on these slower trades and swing trading, which we're about to show you the trades that we've been in since day one. Part of our strategy has always been take profits, because if you don't, I will. And I always like to say, lamb is on the menu. Not financial advice, a fucking course.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to your daily fix with NFA OFC. Let's fix together. It's safer. Let's do it together. Not financial advice, a fucking course. Go back and read the disclaimer, please. It is the last show before Easter weekend. Some people are already celebrating it around the world. We start tomorrow. Prima started yesterday. Show 58, Pope in the background. You can hear me. I'm so excited about that. Can't wait to get to 60. I like the 10s. They excite me. Money flow cycle, market cap, dominance, Bitcoin, ETH. Watch it. Hey, everybody. Watch it. You know, it'll tell you everything you need to know about where the money is moving in the market so we can make smarter, more educated decisions like grown-ups should. Pope and I were just talking about having to grown up sometimes. And Pope, are you there? Were you grown-upping today? He's doing something over there. What is it? Hey, buddy.
I was adulting all day.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that.
Right. Just before the show, I did double check the TA on the trades that I am in. Happy with how they're playing out. Figure I'll be out of them soon, which will be nice because then we'll have some new targets for the show and go over what we've already been in and watching and things like that, of course. And from all the research I've been doing lately and the digging I've been doing lately. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for Easter weekend. Hope everybody gets a chance to touch some grass and take some profits and hopefully get maybe into some good entries. But like
that sounds great. Let's do those three things and then we'll just have a great weekend. Cheers.
That's a great start to a weekend right there. So let's get into what we're talking about, what the short was about, the money flow cycle. We don't always have to go over how important it is, but it helps determine our short-term trades and how the money is flowing into the market. And it's been doing pretty much a lot of what we've been expecting. There's been a few surprises for how long this lasts, and this one hurt. But look at that recovery and the strength, and we're staying in this pattern that we hopefully replicate and continue to replicate. Now, as we said, these will probably be down more in the timeline. We drew those as point of the pattern that we want to keep seeing play out for this duration of the bull run, which when we look at it on the daily is healthy. We still have spread. We may have, let's get rid of the drawings. You know, we don't have curl. We have cool off and consolidation in here, which are an all-time recent high. Good. With a low, which we're making higher lows. Good.
Can you make that a little bigger for me? Sorry to interrupt. Oh, yes, thank you.
So in terms of the total market or the total amount of money in the market, we're in healthy. Now, over Easter weekend, we may just see us stay in this rectangle. We may head up. We may head out. It's saying here, we're right in the middle. Middle is usually typically indecision when the other indicators aren't telling us otherwise. And then we know when we're up in here, it's typically indication of sells, or in this case, that the money is coming down. Now, if we zoom in on a smaller time frame, nice consolidation, perhaps a curl. This is where I'd be watching right now. If I was in swing trading, which I'm not, I've been very clear that I've been in longer holds lately with IRL events. I would be really watching this on the twos. to see. We didn't break the top. We left a sell position here. We may just consolidate for a little bit on the twos for the market flow. Holidays are always interesting to me. They're kind of like the roll of the dice. People get bored. They take the bathroom breaks from their families, events. They're dumping money in or trading. It could be interesting, or it could be really boring.
I
But
mean, I feel like it's been a little bit boring for a little bit. You know what I mean? And there's just so much kind of watching and waiting. So I am curious to see how the Easter Easter thing kind of affects everything this weekend.
do that for 2 hours for now. Yeah, it could just be this pattern in this box on the twos for a while. Which if you're slow trading just means watch. If it's
Mhm.
up in this area, most likely it's going to come down. We would like to see, as I always say, to always hold the 2.5. I don't think down in here. I mean, it's never out of the question, bottom of the box, but I think we're still making steady higher. It's on these next little bear dips, micro bears. Are we making the higher lows there? And I think we are. I think we will be. I mean, we have been. If you go back and start looking at them, whether or not we get out of this box when we hope to here, you know, when we did that all quick and dirty on the higher time zone. We'll see. We may just stay in this triangle that we've talking about, or it may start to narrow. Watching the market cap is crucial when you're swing trading. These long holds that we're in, you just poke in like I do. We'll wake up a couple times today and make sure it's following the plan. Cool. And if not, what happened? Is there a black swan? Is it just a quick grab, flash? Nothing to panic about. And we had a few of those. I mean, dominance is literally at its resistance for the quick and dirty on those candles last. And we're saying we wanted to see this S curve start to curl down. There is no indication of that at the moment. And whether this resists or continues to go up, if this continues to go up and this just cools off, alts are gonna have some pain. They're gonna come down a bit. So if you're on the sidelines, there may be good entries according to this.
Can you I know you're kind of doing a little comparison, which I totally understand, but yeah, I need you to yeah. I'm so sorry because I don't know how clear it is for you, but it's really hard for me to see them in those two little.
My apologies. So we were hoping to get this curve at this height at these other curves, is what that drawing was here. And we haven't, clearly. So the dominance is going up and there's good spread. Usually when the dominance is going up, this is on the 4 hour. Market cap is coming down. That means money is flowing out of alts. So if we looked at some alts just quickly, red, red, red. Oops. So on the long term, very bullish. On the 4 hour, really curious. This is telling me money is flowing out of alts. And this is giving me indecision of whether or not money is just going to kind of piss around in this little tiny ins and outs. And our next curl is at this point in terms of DOM. So is this going to go up to here? That is only a good thing if a lot of money flows into the total market cap. So if we just see a steady bleed of money leaving and we start to really narrow here and come down, if you're if you're swing trading, I'd be getting out of my alts for a bit. That's what that's saying to me at the moment. And I have been looking at the charts for a bunch. I'm going to reset that back to where it was because it could easily just pull back down and start to do this. And this is what we wanted to see. But we have that line for where it could possibly go. And then the only way we want that is if this starts to crank up. So if this keeps going green and this keeps going red, you're going to feel it. Bitcoin, we gave a few possibilities of what could be going on. It could rocket at any time is always one, and we never know when it decides to rocket. We got a nice call on the breakout here. We have stayed above this area of consolidation, which we said we wanted to do. So that shows strength for anything around that 69,000 price now on a pullback, because we're on the daily here and we did it for these days here. Not saying it can't still come down ever, but we got nice spread. It's not giving us a sell indication up in here yet. Possibly cool off. By the look of everything that's happening, we could be doing this for the weekend with Bitcoin. Money flows in, we're going up this rate. And this one so far seems to be the one that's been playing out. I believe it'll probably be something like this. I'll leave that there because we reset everything on Monday anyways. But this to me makes the most sense because we held this line. If we do break out at any time, like I said, we have to retest the top of this versus fight it. And of course, typically the first time, if it plows through, it has to stay on top. If it doesn't, it's probably coming right back down to this 68, 69. What will determine it? The money flow. Absolutely. ETH just kind of chilled out. For the longest time, we were just saying, if we could just move, what we set down, we would have been pretty much on call from the whole time. Here,
I feel like it's moving at I feel like it's moving at like a turtle's pace.
You just took the words out of my mouth. Like it just cooled off, right? But that's a good sign. This is a micro bear. Ooh, shitty one.
Building compression.
You see? Oh my goodness! I'm gonna give you have the show.
No.
I love it.
I've gone blank immediately. Take over.
So, I mean, that's where we are technically on the daily right there. And this next candle would be the retest, or it's coming down possibly in these areas. And it's probably going to come right back down to here if it doesn't break out. But we just got a bullish cross. So this to me now would make sense just to, move that over to there.
I don't know. Those lines are really close together.
They are. And lots of compression. And when we look at it on that area, like, here, I'm going to clean some of this up. We're going to start fresh Monday anyways, but. So we're right at this point of compression. Can I actually wrap it? Oh, I'm going that far back. Anything in here is possible. And the
See,
further you,
turtles pace. It's just
yeah. And this is why in our Discord we said get out up here, and we did, and it was great.
but you also keep saying that it hasn't quite had its day yet, right? So this is
Oh,
why
and
it's just like I'm just anticipation for this coin.
And consolidation can happen for ages and it's boring. And then you're just readjusting your TA, waiting for that compression breakout, which we had on Bitcoin. And remember, we also say breakouts can happen either direction. We either compress more or we break out in either direction once we get into these formations. Those are your three options. And when they break out, the breakouts are typically fabulous. But when you're stuck in compression, your capital on the shorter trades, when you're stuck in compression, your capital could be best used elsewhere. And that's why we said,
Unless
hey,
you're popping it in and out for your like little quick, 1 to 8% trades, right? But I mean, that's another skill in itself.
1 to 8, I'll take 8% popping in and out any day. Just quickly back to, because we've marked up the total market cap a couple of different places, just to look right back at another way to look at it on the 4-hour in the channels that it has been following since we've marked this up from the beginning and then cleaned it up a bit the last episode. We're in this channel. We haven't broken this line, and it appears that we might be curling on the 4-hour. It's not giving us a sell indication. There is news, but it doesn't mean anything. Oh, well, that's good news. Single million users in a day. Oh, yeah, that's right. That should be a highlight. 25 years. I'm curious if people think that's too little, too much. I was shocked. I thought it would be more, to be honest. We're still staying within this channel, so a little down, possibly, maybe. It's been holding right above this 256. If we start to curl under here and come down, and dominance is still on the rise, then yeah, we're probably going to see some money leave this weekend. But my honest opinion, it's too hard to tell at the moment. It may want to retest this and break out. And we've seen a lot of weekends now on the show where it's like people get bored and we see surges of money. Oh, yeah, that's the render one. Surges of money flow in. So the trades we've been quickly talking about. We got the bullish cross, a couple downs after a lot of up. That's healthy. I would zoom in still. Yeah. See, we got a little down. And if the market decides to pull more money out, this will probably come down fast, down into these levels. Long-term hold, you'll get a little decent entry soon. Phantom, this is the first time we've experienced this. Not in a while. So Phantom may, and I've said this before, it may have run out of steam, but it seems if it holds here, I think we're good to go again. If it does not hold this point, there's not a lot of indication to me to say Phantom wouldn't come down quite a chunk. But we're coming up
There's
to
a
a buy.
buy. There's a buy. Oh, perfect thing. Look at us. I have high hopes. Let's look for the good stuff in Phantom.
See, in the 2 hours, we have definitely been consolidating in this area. And this is clearly probably on the 4s. This is where it gets interesting. Does it hold this line? That's what we were just saying, even zoomed out. Because then your next drop could be somewhere in here. And then if that happens, these lines are just going to be spread, and there'll probably be a lot of fear selling. But if it curls and holds this, that's tremendous strength. But right now, they're tight. They're not widespread, but they haven't curled. And they are holding this area. I mean, it's wicked back. So if this starts to curl in here, I'm bullish again on Phantom. Right now, I'm cautious. But I mean,
Cautious for a buy-in now, but not cautious if it's a long-term hold.
Oh, I mean, we got in down here, right? Like, let's that perspective.
Let's call a spade a spade.
It's just cooling off, which looks like in this area could be a spot too.
Head and shoulders.
This is where
look at that. Head and shoulders.
Oops.
Maybe too jaggedy for one.
We got a double top by the look of it for sure. Is that a little bit lower? It's gonna. Yeah, it needs to break this downward trend right now, hold this area before it can take off again. But when it does, I mean, look at it. When it does, it goes.
Yeah. It pumps fast.
But it could be maybe the attention's off it for a bit, or it's here's your buying opportunity before it rips again. This is always that tough one. That's why you got to watch.
Well, if money is elsewhere, can't we just assume maybe it's just kind of, I mean, can that just be a simple answer to that? Is just money is elsewhere? Because we talk about how things are in AI, things are then in gaming, memes,
And
all that stuff.
And
so
how
can it just be a regular movement, like how the the cycle works?
That is a question I unfortunately do not know the answer to, but give you this absolute, that is 100% possibility.
It's the only answer I need.
This has been great. We gave you 2 more entries in this belly. Only one of them hit, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Our first entry, another show entry, and here we are again, another show entry, and we're coming up to that bullish cross to hopefully walk up to gain into here and then judge. What do we do once we get into this area? Are we holding up for the long term for next? Or is it going to be making these W's that I do like while, before alt season happens? So this is one, still happy with the position where we're in, where it's off to Kusama's looking great. If the money starts to leave, this will be coming down. Absolutely. You can probably get another entry. But on the big picture, this is very bullish. Yeah, it's just, but it could easily come right back down if money leaves. And if it does, it's coming right back down to these entries again. Because what we've seen with Kusama, when it decides to come down, it will come down. But for right now, just like everything else in the market, seems like everything's a little tense.
It's like slow but pressured.
Be curious to watch. Really curious to watch. It has every indication that it wants to break down. But still, and not every indicator is always right, and weekends have been strange. I'm in long trades. I have faith. I'm not worried, but interested nonetheless. So those are the three we've been covering on that end. We did 3 gaming tokens a little while ago as well. Oops. Where we got in on this belly, and then it held this line, the dailies, which we were hoping for, and it took off. Like, look how much in a rocket it had on the 4 hours there. Just underneath there. That is a great stink take profit. We are still looking like we're about to come into a bullish cross. Hopefully hold this and go. Very happy with our position in PYR. Big time. We did not clearly hold what we've been resisting for so long, looking like we're coming up to a bearish cross, most likely come back down to this area if money leaves the market. So you might get an entry in here. If you missed it, we got in, same thing down here. I am at this point honestly not taking profits in big time, because my goal is to get back up to here. If we do get down into these areas again, I will be rebuying. Decentraland, man, pretty much been following what we've been saying. Holding this line here will be important. If we get across here, it's coming down, and it would be coming down into some good entries. We'll be taking profits at this level, full disclosure, if it comes down, because if it breaks this, it doesn't hold this, it's gonna come down, and we got in down here somewhere. So I won't round trip this one, as we call it. Link, we gave 3 entries to hit. We're coming up into a micro bear, so that would be an indication to me. If it doesn't hold where it's at, it's coming down, and I'd be taking profits. This is on the 4 hour. We hit critical greed. This is where we should have taken profits if you were watching. If you're in for the long term, it doesn't matter. This is just going to probably pull back down here and then continue off. But that's telling us get out. I wouldn't get out right now. I wouldn't panic. There will probably be a little bit of a pullback. Hopefully all we see is compression in here. But if we don't see the compression in here, I'd take profits. There's going to be some trades coming. If a whole bunch of money leaves the market this weekend, there's going to be great entries. That's why I mean it's bleeding. And I would be looking at where you are personally in your trades in the market cap, but I wouldn't be panicking probably down into this level personally. Or if we get the cross, if we actually get the cross, then I'll be out of my alts, other than my long-term holds. So that's everything I wanted to kind of cover that we were talking about.
Can you, what you just said about the market cap, can you go over the dominance? Because you were pretty clear on what you would wait for and what your anticipating. Could you do that for the dominance, please?
Just kind of go over a review of the two again.
Well, I mean, it's just where are you anticipating and where should people be aware is kind of what you said about the market cap. So I'm just wondering.
The dominance on the daily looks like it wants to take off. And getting a massive influx of dominance is fine when there's a massive influx into the total market cap. But if we get a massive rise in dominance without money going into the market cap,
Mhm.
it's because it's leaving the alts. So the alts are going to bleed. It's a massive sell-off. But right now, when we zoom in, it's wicking down. It's pulling down on that daily. So on the 2-hour, you know, it contested it, but it's still looking like dominance wants to go up. So let's compare apples to apples. On the 2-hour, dominance is kind of staying above the median with spread, resisting the 54 mark. Okay.
Right.
So that's 2-hour. If we look at our market cap now on the 2-hour, does it look like money wants to enter or leave? Now, obviously, dominance is going up because a bunch left. $10 billion left in the last 33 minutes. But it's already pulled back. So here is showing strength. And this is what I mean. Like it could be one of those pumps where people get bored over the weekend and they inject money. And this takes off to contest the 2.6. Or as soon as panic sells start, everybody starts and it just comes down and then we cool off until next week. The only thing I think that's going to tell us, sadly, is watching on these smaller time frames. And we can see how fast it's moving, but it's just been holding here. To me, I'm feeling like it might come down. For the weekend. That's just my 2 cents. Going up to a sell. There could be a couple of pumps, fakes like this big wick here. Come down into this level. Everybody rejoices over the holiday weekend. Boom, we go back off. That's kind of what it looks like to me.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm excited to
seeing some red in the here, and why we're probably seeing some red right now.
Interesting.
But then again, certain tokens, depending on what you're in, are in bullish positions. You know, it also depends what token you're in and how it's performing, and also when you got in. You know, it's when
this is why we bounce around, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So speaking of bouncing around, let's get us in.
Why do I always gotta be on the bottom?
Well, I would have to switch up the graphic on the side, but I put you.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, it's fine.
Right. You broke your last previous record. I think a little IRL helped with that. But hey, you are now building a longer streak of making better decisions with your trades.
I'm in uncharted territory now.
We're seeing people in our Discord sharing a lot of their wins, which is awesome. It's nice to see. So if you do have questions, let us know in the Discord. We'll be in and out somewhat over the weekend. The primary goal this weekend is to touch grass. Watch your market cap closely if you're swinging this weekend. Have your stop losses in place to take your profits to prepare for the worst or the best.
Put some alerts in. Alerts would be cool.
Alerts are always good.
Mm-hmm.
And looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday.
Not so. I mean, we don't know if we're doing a midnight show that day. You want to decide now, or do you want to talk about it?
Oh, because Monday's the holiday and midnight Mondays.
Midnight Mondays.
Let's talk about it. We'll ask a few people in the Discord, a few of our loyals, and see what they would prefer.
All right. Let us know in the Discord. What do you want to do on Tuesday? We'll see if we care. I'm just joking. I need something to eat, man.
Too funny.
Yeah. Happy Easter to everybody and whatever else you practice. And yeah, enjoy, relax, touch grass, smoke it, hang out on it. See you later, everybody. Bye, Pope.
Do whatever you need to do, but enjoy.
Whatever.
And if you're short-term trading, take profit. Watch out money.
Bye.